Rampaging Dino Guts, the Sentai with the Ranger who's evil for most of the show, the team that got a whole Power Rangers episode dedicated to their show. My name is Alex, and in this video we'll be talking about Bokura Sentai Abaranger. This season I was extremely excited for because I am such a huge Dino Thunder fan. My favorite episode is Lost and Found in Translation, where Ethan, Connor, and Kira watched a dubbed version of Abaranger. That was probably my first introduction to Sentai, but I was definitely unaware when I watched it when I was younger. But anyways, on to the video. Spoilers for this season: Abaranger Deluxe Abare Summer is Freezing Cold, Deca Ranger vs. Abaranger, Abaranger with Dawn Brothers, and Abaranger 20th The Unforgivable Abare. Bokura Sentai Abaranger is the 27th entry into the Super Sentai franchise, and the motif for this season is dinosaurs. This season follows the Abarangers as they fight the Evolians and prevent them from awakening their god, forgive my pronunciation, Wicked Life God Desimuzoria, that I will be referring to as the Wicked Life God. Not including Emmy as Abare Pink, there are 5 total Rangers, with one of them being a villain for the majority of the show like I mentioned earlier. The main 5 Rangers are Ryoga Hakua, who is Aba Red, Yukito Sanjo, who is Abare Blue, Ranru Itsuki, who is Abare Yellow, Asuka, who is Abare Black, and Mikoto Nakadai, who is Abare Killer and is evil for most of the series. In this world, the meteor that killed the dinosaurs on Earth split the world into 2 universes. One where the dinosaurs got killed, called Another Earth, and one where the dinosaurs evolved into Bokura and lived alongside humans, or Saurians as they are called in that universe. Asuka is from this Earth, and he traveled to Another Earth to stop the Evolians from taking over this Earth too. When he comes to Another Earth, he tries to find the humans with the most dino guts, which is the power source for this season, and what can connect the Rangers to their powers, and their Bokura, which act as the Zords for this season. Every single character in this show is so strong. They all came from different backgrounds and professions, but came together to form a strong and fun team. Like Ryoga was an environmental protection investigator and was also a surrogate father for his niece Mai, and Yukito was a chiropractor. Everyone comes from different places in their lives, and they all mesh together really well. Like in the beginning, they immediately proved they'd be a good team, because when Yukito and Ranru got their Ranger powers, they immediately knew what to do and how to help each other take the villain down despite never meeting before. They all worked fantastically together, even if Yukito was hesitant to join initially. But the character I really enjoyed was Ryoga, just because of how positive he was despite everything going on around him. He always tried to be there for his niece Mai, which he's a father to due to her parents passing away. And his insert song, Taiyo Woiko, is such a fun song that I've already learned how to play on bass. There's one episode where the Trinoid of the Week made the Rangers only be able to see what they hate the most, but Ryoga was unaffected because he doesn't hate anything. I just find his positivity very infectious. Despite all that has happened to him with his family or Mai's parents passing away and having to take care of her, and even in that moment in the beginning where the Bokura were rampaging and destroying buildings, including the building that Ryoga and Mai lived in, he was still able to maintain a positive attitude and stay strong. Ryoga is just a good leader and character overall. All the Abarangers have their own time to shine, which is why I appreciate seasons with 5 or less Rangers, because there's more time to focus on them, whether that be personally or with the team. This would be a time of the video where I talk about the villains. Really, I want to talk about the Ranger who is a villain for every episode he is in except for the finale episodes and specials, Mikoto Nakadai or Abare Killer. It's in his name that he's going to be a bad guy, but I didn't know how long he would be a villain for. There are times in the series where I thought he'd join the Abarangers, as he sometimes helps defeat the Monster of the Week, but there are other times he goes against the Abarangers just to give him some semblance of excitement, because due to him being good at everything, there aren't many things that give him excitement. Like just for fun, he joined the Evolian side as their leader just for the bit. It's also that Mikoto's body was the vessel for half of the Wicked Life God that was on Another Earth. He finally became a hero and joined the Abarangers in the finale when he found out the Wicked Life God was just using him as a pawn to help revive him. Mikoto's morpher was so powerful that his own body couldn't take it, but with the Wicked Life God inhabiting him, he could keep the morpher at bay. But what surprised me that was when the Wicked Life God was gone, the morpher killed him. And it wasn't just a die for the episode to get revived. He died. I just wish he had a little bit more time to be a hero in the original series though. Continuing on with the villains, I don't have that much to say, as I rarely do, but I thought the plot with Asuka's wife Mahoro, but Jean when she's evil, and Rije being the Wicked Life God's child and voice was one that was unexpected. And the Armor of Darkness' whole thing with turning its user evil and only being able to transfer its power when the user gets killed by someone else was also very unexpected, especially with Asuka defeating Jean, turning her back into Mahoro, only for her and Mikoto to defeat Asuka and in turn destroying the armor because the Wicked Life God that resided within Mikoto being so powerful that the armor just dissolves. Like I said earlier, the Abarangers' main goal for the season is to defeat the Evolians. Every episode follows a Monster of the Week plot like other Sentai seasons. They also never lose sight of their goal of defeating the Evolians. It's very common for Sentai seasons to be very silly and goofy, and while Abaranger has its moments of being very serious, it is no different. Like, there's an episode where Emmy turns into a pig instead of the pink abaranger, and the whole episode that was dubbed for Lost and Found in Translation with Bucky Barnes, the baseball star. And actually, the moment that made me want to watch the series was when Ryoga was thrown by his Bakuryu and flew all the way through a building and landed at the playground at the school where his niece goes to school. Had me actually laughing so hard in that moment. I don't have that much to say about the storylines, but what I really appreciated was how almost every episode felt episodic to an extent. Like, yes, there's the overarching story and goal that is present through it all, but some episodes were so fun and some aspects were relatively self-contained, so you could be able to tune into any episode and still know what's going on. But let's move away from the main series and let's get into the movies and crossovers. Starting with Abaranger Deluxe, Abare Summer is Freezing Cold. This movie is about a princess who is sealed away in a sword and two Bakuryu that get released from the ice and rampage around the city, and it is up to the abarangers to stop them, help the princess, and stop the hexanoid that is putting everyone in a bikini. It's a really weird concept, but it works. It makes for a really fun special, especially with the movie version of the ending sequence with the villains imitating the heroes. Now, as for one of the Abaranger crossovers that I've seen, the Dekaranger vs. Abaranger movie. I learned when I watched this, the Versus movies used to have the teams fight each other, then team up to fight the big bad. So seeing the two vastly different teams and power sets fight, then combine forces is like the best of both worlds. I also think it was really funny with the way the Abarangers didn't care or react to Doggy Kruger. Whether it's SPD's Kruger or Decaranger's Kruger, I feel like the Rangers are often caught off guard by the literal dog. But they didn't care. I'm also a huge fan of the Dino House getting so popular that Kruger was a regular. Connects the worlds really well. Next is the anniversary special, Abaranger 20th, The Unforgivable Abare. It is a 20th anniversary special and it is set 20 years after the events of the original series. It focuses on an Ebolian who traveled to another Earth with the Abarangers having to join forces again to defeat the Ebolian, while the people around them think the way they fight is outdated. It's pretty much just a commentary on how things that were okay 20 years ago aren't the same today. To fight the Ebolian, they had Asuka travel back to another Earth, and they, and by they I mean the Ebolian, bring Mikoto back to life briefly. What was honestly hilarious was one of the main plot points of the movie was the Abaranger's ending dance ruining Iota's life. Like a dance ruining someone's whole life, and she in turn tries to ruin their reputation. She even had them go on a talk show just to talk about the way they fight for justice, just to call them outdated, which is actually kind of bonkers. But she did get a chance to get over that and restore the Abarangers' reputations by doing the dance to help weaken the Trinoid and help the Abarangers with a friend, so that was good. But a dance ruining her life so she tries to ruin theirs is still really funny. Also for this special, I learned that the actress who plays Ranru actually retired from acting and returned just for the special, which makes the special even more special if I may. Okay, so I shouldn't have saved this one for last, but I'm going to anyways because it is the best in my opinion. The Abarangers with Dawn Brothers special. I'm biased. While I'm talking about this one last, it does serve as an introduction to the Abaranger 20th anniversary special, with the ending of the special showing the Ebolian going through a portal and coming back to another Earth. Now this one is definitely my favorite because I love Abaranger and I love Dawn Brothers. Seeing the newer Sentai team and the older Sentai team compare their team dynamics was just so jarring just to see how different they are. Like they went into how Momoi Taro constantly beats them up even after a battle. This special is very short and doesn't spend that much time on the Abarangers or Dawn Brothers fighting, but just being able to see Taro fight alongside Ryoga was enough for me. Even seeing Saruhara and Yukito was great. I just wish we were able to see Haruka with Ranru or Atsuka and Tsubasa for that matter. Anyways, Abaranger is such a good series that absolutely lives up to the hype that I gave it from its Power Rangers counterpart Dino Thunder, which is why it ties with Takudro as my favorite Sentai season. Thank you for watching, and if you're still here, comment your favorite morpher used in Abaranger.